Hey everyone, I'm Aaron Shimmons, your host of Trail Talk. Thanks for coming back to check out another episode of our new news and gossip in trail and ultra running show. This week I'm joined by the OG panel of Brian, Troy and Ricki. Great to have those guys back. And we're going to talk about Ultra Trail Cape Town, the season finale, some might say, of the ultra running calendar. We're going to give you our hot takes on the men's and the women's fields, and also going to touch on the Tom Evans thing, which some of you may have heard about.
I've decided not to race in Ultra Trail Cape Town next weekend. I was out on the trails yesterday. I was mugged, I was beaten up, I was attacked, I was held at knife point, and everything that I had with me was taken.
But without further delay, let's get on with the show. All right, guys, let us dive into Ultra Trail Cape Town. It's this weekend, 100k and nearly 5,000 meters of vert. So a pretty cool race. You would say a prestigious race, an iconic race. Not one that I've done. Ricki, you mentioned it last week, one that you'd be interested in. Certainly has great media coverage. The live streaming last year was maybe one of the best live streams of the year. A company called Pulse something, I forget the name of it, actually look after the live stream, and they have a GPS action cam app where it traces the activity and the GPS data together. So they actually look after the live stream. So I think that's why it was really good. And they've gone on to do that in some other races. But let's dive into our top picks we'll just do the top three women, and then we'll do the top three men. Thinking about Fantasy Freetrail here as well. Obviously, we've got top five picks if you're doing that, but we'll just go with the three because I don't think it's a massively deep field. Certainly, whenever I look at it. So, just looking down at my notes here. In third place, I'm gonna go with an American runner. Two people will be happy to hear that. Someone who has, results this year and the last couple of years have been brilliant. Second at Canyons, third at Bandera. Really good 100k runner. Looking just at her, results, it's just a string of podiums. She just wins loads of races. She's always up there. Next to no DNFs, and I think apart from Worlds the last couple of years, she's just been on a tear. Signed with Lululemon earlier on this year with that whole sort of women in trail campaign with Camille Herron and a few others. So I'm going to go with Yia Yingling for third place. I think she's definitely going to be up there, and why the hell not top three? So, who you got, Brian?
Yeah, love your pick. I think in third place, though, I'm going to go with somebody that's probably number one by name recognition and by actual body of work in the sport, Ruth Croft. I think if you look at her recency, coming back from some injury, it's not quite proven yet that she's the Ruth Croft that won Western States previously. So I think I'm probably being a bit cautious, wanting to see a good result before I place her up higher than my third ranking, but she's every bit deserving of that and more. So Ricki, what you got?
I'm with Aaron on this one because that's what I had picked for third was Leah, because I just saw that she's had a couple of really good results, and then moving into that 100k distance, even like anything over 100k, she's very strong over that. She had a really good race at CCC as well, so she's just banging out podiums at the minute. But I just don't think that she's going to win this one, so I'm sticking Leah in third. And I think it'll be a fantastic result for her if she does come third, so I'm rooting for her.
Yeah, she was 8th at UTMB this year, so she has legs from 50k to 100 miles, so yeah, really good. Troy, who are you feeling for third?
Yeah, so I kind of went a different route. I mean, I really think that, she's coming back from injury. She hasn't raced in over a year. I'm really feeling Marianne Hogan coming in hot in third place, getting a podium. I think she's super strong. Honestly, if she was, she's kind of always battled injuries, kind of back and forth, but she had that epic run at UTMB last year, placing second place. I think if she wasn't coming back from injury, I'd be picking her higher, but I kind of have her in this. She's been down. She hasn't raced in a while. She's probably, arguably, should be battling for the top position, I think, in this field. And, I'd like to see her kind of come away with the podium win. And
perfect segue, actually, because Marianne Hogan is my second place pick. I think she is primed for this. She's on the comeback tour. She just won I think it was it was 100K. It's like 3-ish weeks ago in China, and she's placed second at Ultra Trail Cape Town before to Courtney DeWalter in 2021, and Marianne's time then was 12:15, which was the winning time last year. So she's quick. She has proven that she is really good on mountain courses. She's won Bandera. She's quick on fast 100K courses. I think she's gonna race second. I think she could win the race, but I don't think she's gonna want to dig deep. She just run that 100K. She's on the comeback tour. I don't think she needs to dig deep to try and get a win. So I think second place, Marianne Hogan, start of the comeback tour, and she'll have a kick-ass 2024 if she comes out of this in good shape. Brian, who you thinking for P2?
Yep. So P2, we're going with America's own Leah Yingling. So for everything that you guys said when you thought she was deserving of the third place finish, I just have her one notch higher. I think her trajectory in the sport is going in the right direction, whereas you have a lot of other women who were either coming back from some serious injuries. We're not talking about niggles. We're talking about some catastrophic downtime, which is hard on the body and the mind to relearn how to suffer, dig deep on these types of courses like they'll face at Cape Town. So Leah's proven, she did the UTMB double. She was 8th at Western States, I believe, 9th at UTMB, which is impressive. And as you said, the Golden Trail Series, she was either winning or on the podium consistently over the last, 18 to 24 months. So I think in some of the podcasts she's done, conversations she's had, her racing style, I think, has evolved. She's wanting to start putting herself in the mix earlier on. So I think she should be coming to this race and seeing the field as an opportunity to be in that front pack and use Cape Town as an opportunity to continue to ascend within the sport among her females. So P2 and possibly even the victory, if I was to be honest.
You think so? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And also she's coming to this race with her partner, Mike McGonigal, who won the Grindstone 100-miler, and he's racing this weekend. So it's a family affair coming to Cape Town from, I think, Salt Lake they're coming from, isn't that right?
Right.
Troy, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm kind of going a little bit. I feel like I'm going out on a limb here with my second place pick for the ladies at Cape Town. I really think that this is where you're going to see Addie Bracey come in, American runner from Colorado. I don't think she's necessarily ran up to her potential in the last couple races. I don't think she had a great CCC. I know, she had a great race at Speed Goat this year, but I feel like kind of into the season, kind of go deep, and I think she may be feeling this like need to put up some something special in order to kind of keep everything rolling. So I mean that's kind of who I have. I mean I think it's probably not what everyone would pick for second place, but I'm also just kind of looking at a body of work that it's like I feel like she kind of swings big but misses, and maybe this is her chance to kind of show up and do something really special on the day. So,
are you determined to just pick North American runners?
Well, no, we'll see how the first place goes. But like I said, I don't think Marianne is going to be in a position to bring us the Marianne of 2022. I think she's still kind of working herself into that, and that's why I kind of feel like, there's a couple other names I could have put on the podium, and I decided that I think these two ladies have a shot. But yeah, I mean, I think Addie is kind of my. I'd like to see her have a breakout performance, and I think this could be it for her.
I do think that's a bold pick. If we were going back a few years, I would maybe be considering that myself, but it just feels like people like Leah are really, they're just stacking great years on top of great years, and it feels like if you don't have your time, the next generation quickly come through, and I think that might be the case with Addie Bracey.
I think Addie Bracey's kind of like too many bad results, too many coulda, shoulda, woulda, and that's why I'm going to go with Marianne. It's like me and you are picking off. I think you've been copying me or something, Lauren, because we both went for the same, and I've gone for Marianne here again because I just think that she's super strong over that distance. I know she's on the comeback, but at the same time, she's still, let's say she's on the comeback, but she's getting results. And I just think that she knows Cape Town. She's had a serious run in Cape Town before, and I just think that I'd almost say she could win it. She could win it. If she has a very good day, there's no reason why she can't win it, but I'm just going to stick her in second place because I think there's going to be one winner and one winner only. And I tell you that in the next round of questions.
You didn't pick Marianne Hogan because she's a little pocket rocket like you?
Well, why not? Why not,
Yeah, well, she's definitely got the speed. All right, good stuff, guys. Moving on to first place. We're going down under, and I'm picking Ruth Croft. I just think Ruth Croft is such. You can't. I mean, genius is genius, Ricki. I mean, we can share it. She is just a really smart runner, racer. If she starts a race, she's ready to win it. She had a really disappointing DNS at UTMB, and she was really up until I think it was like a day or two before UTMB, and she had to pull out with some sort of virus or something. But she would have been a favourite. She would have been right up there as a top 3 for UTMB if she started that race. So she's coming back. She's probably got something to prove. She hasn't had maybe the best run since winning states. She's certainly had some good results. 2 years in a row winning Templier, which is 100k with a bit more runnable, 100k, but still 2,000-3,000 meters of vert. So super fast. Previous sky running champion. Really great on technical terrain. Cape Town has big technical sections. So I think Ruth Croft is coming through with a victory. She's proved that she got over the UTMB speed bump, let's call it, in September with a win at the Ultra Pyrenees 50k. So yeah, lower profile than the 100k there, but she's at least blown off that previous bad result. So I think Ruth Croft is gonna take the victory. Maybe Marianne could challenge her for the victory, but I don't think Marianne maybe wants to dig deep enough to push for it. So I think it's there for Ruth if she wants it. What do you think, Brian? Who you got?
Well, I think there's a term there, Aaron and Ricki, in America for what you guys do. It's called picking the chalk, right? I think anybody could have picked the 3 that you picked in order if they just wanted to look at the free trail ranking and go with the safest bet, right? I mean, that's what you guys have done now. You guys are chalk boys. So, I mean, I think in my first place pick, I got to go with Katarina. I think the E is silent, but her results this year are not. All right. When you look at the body of work she's put together, she raced here last year. It looks like she's an athlete, a runner I wasn't too familiar with, to be honest. But you can't deny what she's accomplished in fields that were equally as deep or lack of depth as Cape Town. So it's not as if we're putting her amongst the elites in the most deepest waters. And as I've already mentioned, and you guys have already conceded, some of the big powerhouse names, they've got a little bit of a chink in their armor. They're not coming in, at 100%. So I think it's a great opportunity for her to make her name well known over here in North America. Because, like I said, I wasn't too familiar, but I think she's going to make me look like a genius when I bring home that free trail trophy this weekend. What do you got, Troy?
Are you actually? Hold on a second. We're not letting you get away with this empty-handed. Are you picking Ekaterina Metyev, the Russian, to win this race?
That's what I did. And this is going to go live for everyone. Timestamp it.
Well, I mean, maybe I shouldn't be so bullish because my Fantasy Freetrail rankings aren't stellar, but yeah, I mean, she's fourth in my picks. I don't see her as a better runner than Marianne, Ruth Croft. No, definitely not. She's a solid runner, but she doesn't have that speed. I mean, whenever you come up against that top level competition, I don't think that she has it.
One thing she doesn't have is scar tissue, and anybody who competes in this sport knows injuries are difficult things to come back to, and to actually not just come back to, but to progress beyond where you were pre-injury, and to think that this is just going to be a given, that those two women are going to just walk over to Cape Town and just on their name alone, claim first and second. I think you think this is a much easier sport than it is, or again, you guys were inhaling too much of that chalk while you guys were scribbling your notes.
No way. No way. You can't just say we're chalking it up. We're looking at results, man. We're looking at form. We're looking at athletes that know how to win. You're just picking somebody out of the box just to be awkward. I think you're that dude that walks into a betting shop and just throws money. Just throws money at it for the crack, like going, but sure, if it wins, I'll get a load of money. You just went in with a guess. You just went in with a guess. I'm coming in, and I'm guessing Aaron's coming in. You're coming in with facts. You're coming in with stats, and you're going, look, these people know how to win. It's a no-brainer that Ruth Croft and Marianne are going to be thereabouts. You're just firing shit at a wall and hoping it sticks, man. And people are just going to look at the shit in the wall and say, there's shit on the wall.
Hey, I don't think Katarina thinks she's shit. Keep giving her some of that locker room talk, buddy. You're firing her up. I hope Katarina hears this. You just said Katarina's nothing better than shit on my wall, sir. How dare you? I'm not firing shit. I'm firing a woman who's won 3 races this year. Are we having the same conversation about the same individual? I'm very, very confident in my picks.
The thing is, since the Ukraine thing, Ekaterina and Dimitri haven't been able to race at some of the best races, so that's why she's stringing together wins. No doubt, she is a great competitor, a strong runner. I just don't think that she's top of that field. And let me just come back to you slightly on picking favourites. I mean, whenever you're walking out of the bookies with your winnings, who does it matter? you pick who you think is going to win. You don't pick somebody for any other reason. So that's where that's coming from. But let's move on before we spark things up again. Troy, who have you got for for first place?
You can just call me a chalk boy because I've got Ruth Croft coming in at first place, and I think I did chalk it up, put it on the wall. It's hard not to bet against Ruth. I think she's an amazing athlete, and I think like you said it, Aaron, she's kind of hungry to do something, and this may be, I mean, this is a hot take, but like Courtney dodged a bullet when Ruth Croft had to pull out of UTMB, in my opinion. I think if Ruth towed the line at UTMB with how hard Courtney hurt very early on just to get the job done, I think Ruth would have pushed Courtney to either blowing up and not being able to finish the race, or to something even more special than what she did. Because I think Ruth and Courtney would have ran that race step for step. I think all the way to the finish line. If you ask me, and that's obviously it's a hot take, but I was very, very, very upset when I saw Ruth had to pull out because of sickness from UTMB, because I thought that was the race. I thought the race in the women's field was Courtney and Ruth Croft going toe to toe. And I think Ruth is hungry. I think she's ready to kind of come out in the season with a bang and kind of go back to New Zealand and kind of hunker down and get ready for 2024. So, and I mean, she's, like you mentioned it, she's got pedigree across multiple distances. There isn't something that she hasn't put her mark on and decided to win it. She didn't win. She wasn't able to win UTMB the first year. I mean, UTMB, excuse me, Western States the first year she came at it, but she was like, okay, I know what's going to take to win that race, and she came back and she crushed it. And I think, I think that's how she's gonna. I think that's the Ruth Croft we're gonna see come race day here in Cape Town. So
nailed it, Troy. Ricki, bring it up. Let's hear you.
I thought it was pretty obvious right now, because I'm going with Ruth. I'm chalking it up because it's the favorite. It's the no-brainer. It's the walk into the bookies and give me my money, because Ruth Croft is going to win. Like, Ruth Croft is on a serious team with Adidas Terex, which I think Adidas Terex are like, they're kind of taking the trail world by storm at the minute. They've got all the really good athletes, like from Tom Evans down to Peter Engel. Even my man Stephen Kirsch over in America, over in the States. I'm a big Stephen Kirsch fan. He's not banging out, but I just love that guy. And then I'm just looking at her train with all these unbelievable athletes, and I just think that she's going to blow everyone out of the water.
Are you chalking that up there?
Definitely.
All right. Nice one, guys. 3 people are going to be walking out of the bookies, either crying or rich. But we'll see. Either way, I don't think these hot takes are going to age well. But we'll roll them back at another time for a blooper reel. All right, guys, let us dive into the men's field. Let me just point out, I meant to mention this in the first segment. Ultra Trail Cape Town has prize money. Whoop whoop. World Trail majors will be happy, right? It's a whopping $2,000 US for the winner. Half for second, half for third. So you come away with that prestigious third place podium and you're getting 500 quid. Sounds shit to me. Aren't they one of the only races with the non-endemic sponsor? Bring in some money, guys, please. Like £500 for third place in what I think would end up being the finale of the World Trail majors. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I think we'd be remiss to wonder if the winners are going to have a secured escort to the airport in light of what unfortunately did happen to Tom Evans there. And I think we should bring that up because, I mean, as a World Trail major event, this is sparking a lot of concern, right, around the safety of the participants that are traveling across the world. And if you're any type of an intelligent thief, this is a target event. You're bringing athletes in from across the globe who clearly have the financial means to participate. They really need to address this. And I haven't heard anybody really, maybe locally it's making news. I think I have seen stuff locally, but not to the global community, of efforts they're going to do to make this a little bit more secure. I'd probably be a little hesitant to choose this as my global destination bucket list event in light of this news. So just want to bring that up so we acknowledge it, and certainly hope Tom gets past the mental, because that would spook me as well.
A scary place. It's, to be honest, it's one reason that it's not even on my list to do. I would like to run that race, but whenever you can't really walk through Cape Town safely without risking getting mugged, and it's not even, it's not like going to Prague or Paris or Barcelona, where muggings and things are quite common, for a wallet, for a mobile phone. In South Africa, Cape Town, when this type of shit happens to you, they come with a knife and they stab you so that you're the evidence. You can identify somebody. So there's just low regard for human life, because a percentage of the people have such low quality of life. So it just breeds this type of dangerous, violent crime. So it's super sketchy sort of place. And yeah, thoughts are with Tom. I would definitely be shook up, and he's the sort of pro that would not want to race after doing something like that. I know some people would just want to kind of get on with it, but Tom was there to win, and he needs the zero focus to be able to bring his A game. So I mean, I think he's probably done the right thing for him.
Yeah, I mean, you said it really well, Aaron. I think it's tough when, it's tough. Like, I don't want to do like the color thing, but like when you're a white man in South Africa, you're a target, and the difference between like the poorest white person in South Africa against the common citizen, it's like 100x difference. Like that mobile phone that like Tom probably had nothing on him. He probably had like a couple bucks, a mobile phone, and some water bottles, but like that mobile phone probably fed somebody's family for like 2 weeks. Like that's like, and it's really unfortunate. And, when that's what happens when you have that kind of disparity. Like people are desperate and they're willing to do desperate things, because they don't have opportunity. So, it just makes me feel grateful to have the opportunity that I have. And, even though like I can't afford to go travel to these races, like I definitely, I can support my family, but that's, I definitely can't live an extravagant lifestyle. And I definitely feel for anyone that takes that has to take that kind of initiative.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, you'll have a lot of people that'll be looking at that and they won't really understand what happened there, and they'll be saying, I don't understand why Tom isn't racing, or maybe he should race. But like, I like to think I'm a pretty tough dude, right? I've got a few tattoos and I've got big holes in my ears. But if somebody came at me with a knife a couple of days before a race, I can't say I'd be tough enough to stand on the start line and be in the right headspace. So, big respect to Tom for listening to his head and his heart and choosing not to race, because I think he would have been a stone cold favourite. I think he would have won this race all day long. And that's a huge thing for him to walk away from this race. But there you go. Like, the man's life was threatened. He's very, very lucky that he actually wasn't stabbed, like, because South Africa's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did I hear that it happened on the trails?
His statement made it sound like he was out for a run on the course and he was just trying to get some last minute sharpening up on the trails in South Africa. So yeah, I mean that's how anyone listened to the reels that he put out, the statement that he made on social media, that's what I took away from it, Aaron. So
yeah, that's a mad one. Hearing that it was like on a trail somewhere. So yeah,
they must be fast. They have to be fast, because if they're catching Tom Evans on the trails, them boys can move.
I know, it wasn't even a road.
I think about it. They were probably after his ketones after they saw how much those things cost.
All right, guys. Get well soon, Tom. But we've got some picks to talk about because the show must go on, as they say. So I'm going to bring it in P3. Someone that's been sort of stepping up and failing a few times, but has had a podium at CCC. Thibaut Baronian, Solomon runner, Golden Trail Series front runner for as many years as the Golden Trail Series has existed. Just good guy, fast runner. Yeah, I think I'm maybe flipping the coin with Thibaut on getting the finish, but he did finish fourth, I think, in the Nice UTMB race, which no doubt has got him whatever he needs to show up at Mont Blanc next August. But I think he's gonna. I think he has the potential to. He certainly has the speed, and maybe with that Nice finish earlier on in the summer, maybe he has the. Maybe he's nailing the 100k now, and he kind of needs to get a finish on this one. Otherwise, it's going to be like 2 DNFs a finish, 2 DNFs a finish. So I'm hoping that he's going to string two 200k finishes together here and get a podium. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, the men's field was fascinating. Again, doing some research on some guys that I'm not too familiar with. A lot of the European or foreign runners for me were either coming off of a string of inconsistent finishes, like you just mentioned with your pick with DNFs, or I didn't realize how often they race shorter than 50k distance. So it was hard to even extrapolate that out to this type of course. Yeah, I know you're pandering for the sub-ultra term. I'll throw that carrot out there. So again, the drinking game, go ahead and take a shot there if you're listening, guys. Every time Wolfie says sub-ultra, bottoms up. So yeah, that just throwing that out there. It just made for a wildly hard way to predict these picks. But I stayed here domestic with the P3. Went with a young man who had a fantastic finish at Grindstone. Another solid result at Lake Sonoma this year. Again, somebody that is ascending as a familiar face in deep fields, Mr. Caleb Olson. So again, I think just the trajectory of everything that he's doing in his career is right. And then I think that the field, losing the depth with Tom at the top, allows him to move up a place for me at P3. What you got, Troy?
Yeah, so I mean, this was kind of the field was definitely difficult for me too. But similar to Aaron, I really think Thibaut's kind of ready to continue to kind of add shine and continue to shine. And so I have him in a third place position. I know he had a decent run at the UTMB race. I think it was CCC this year. I remember watching him just kind of crush at that marathon trail distance in the Golden Trail Series. And so I'm been excited seeing him kind of step up the distance. And I think it's a really cool and proven, I think it should be a good proven model for runners. Like, you don't have to run a 100-miler to be a known quantity in the sport. And you can kind of earn your chops at the shorter distances, get fast, leverage that speed and move that into some of the more prestigious races. And so, I've got Thibaut coming in third place.
Yeah, it was the Nice UTMB race you're thinking about. I think it was 120k and 4,000 meters of vert, so a little longer, less climbing, but he still ran something. It was like a 12 something, so fast time. Ricki, what's up?
Yeah, I'm just interested by ye saying Thibaut in third. I find that I'm looking forward to hearing who's coming second. I'm looking forward to see who you say is coming second. And then I was almost on Caleb. I was so close, and I actually wanted to put Caleb as my third, but unfortunately he goes to fourth. Because I just think the distance is what's going to get some of those Americans. They're very, very fast over the 25. I'm not going to say it. You know what? I'm not going to say it. They're just very good over those shorter distances, and I don't think they're proven yet. I know it's a good place to start up in the mileage in Cape Town, but I just don't think they're ready for it, and I think there's faster guys in this race over that distance. So for me, I'm going to go with Matthew Simone. I'm going to put him in third. Because I think he's, am I saying his name right? I think so. Simone? Yeah. I'm going to put him in.
Say it with confidence, Ricki. No one will know.
Yeah, Matthew Simone. But I'm going to go with him because he's had some good results. He's always thereabouts, and I think he's getting better at that 100k distance. I think he was 11th in CCC this year as well. So I just think in this field, against these athletes, and without Tom there, I'm moving him up into third. So I think he's going to finish third, yeah.
Interesting pick. Yeah, and see, we're somewhat aligned. I have Caleb Wilson fourth in my Fantasy Freetrail picks. So anyway, coming back, I've got going to make two of you guys happy anyway. Second place, I'm picking Anthony Costales. First race as a Nike sponsored athlete. That's got to come with an extra bit of spring in your step. Also hasn't raced, I don't think, not in anything major, since Western States, which, where was he? Yeah, third at States. And beat Tom Evans, obviously, at Black Canyon in February. So he's quick, you know. He's also, now he's not a pro. Now he's paid. He's not running in the Chico State singlet. He's going to be repping Nike Trail. So I think Anthony Costales has all the ability to podium at this race. I don't think he is proven at this distance technical terrain. So I wouldn't put him in first place, but he's my second place pick. Well, who you got, Brian?
I'm going with Dimitri in second. I think there's a lot to be said. Winning is a mindset, and when you come off of a season again where you've strung together multiple victories, albeit if it's maybe not at the top class level, there's still quality racers that are there, and you're still putting together training blocks that are preparing you to go out and deliver and bring home victories, even when you're expected to get them. So his confidence has got to be riding high. He's got, to me, nothing to lose, in the sense that clearly nobody on this panel, is feeling too confident in his abilities to take the victory as well, unless you guys are going to put him in the one piece spot. But yeah, I think just based on the confidence that comes from the season that he's put together and the quality of racer that he is, he's taken home the P2 spot.
I like that. I like that because there's more to come from me on this, but it's not him right now. I'm going for Tabo in second. And the reason I'm putting him in second and not in first is because he's super fast, he's super strong, but I think he can be a bit headless and he can blow up. And I just think this is a race where he's going to go a little bit too hard, too soon, and he's going to hurt, and he's not going to be able to hang on to that lead. Like, I love Tabo. I'm a big, massive fan of him, but I just don't think he's there yet at that distance. I know he had a great race in Nice, but I seen him firsthand in an aid station in Champay-Lac in the CCC, and he was destroyed after 60k because he got that race all wrong, and he has a habit of doing that in the longer distance. He's just not there yet. But I still think he's good enough to hold on to second. I think he's got enough quality to stay ahead of the other lads and hold on to second, but not get the win for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of feel that way about Tabo as well, and I think it's just an experience thing at the longer distances, because you can't go out and just go balls to the wall at 100k and bring it home when you're at racing the best of the best. So, yeah, that's interesting. Troy, what about you?
Yeah, so for all the, I'm with Wolfie here on second place. I think Dimitri is the man to kind of bring home the bronze here. And all I have to say, have you seen this guy's legs? Like, have you seen this dude's legs? Like, I'm like, he Quadzilla, like legit Quadzilla, and I can't bet against that. Like when I see, I'm like, I'm not the biggest guy, dude. I see those legs. I definitely have quad envy when I see Dimitri's legs. And he's a good follow. Him and Katrina both are good follows on social, and he shares some of his just like non-weight bearing routines that he does like on his off day, his easy days. And you're just like, okay, dude, if that's the stuff you're doing just to like keep everything loose, I can't imagine watching what the rack looks like on squat day. So yeah, I'm Dimitri all the way for second place. So,
well,
and he's the defending champ, I think, right?
Well,
they did that hand holding thing last year. So yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about hand holding, Brian? Not asking for me or anything. Just mean like, if you were going to win a race, are you going to sprint it out at the end, or are you going to hold hands?
100% against it. Under no circumstance do I don't even want my pacer crossing the line with me. He peels off a good, 100 yards in advance. So there's no way a competitor is going to sit here and skip to my loo. It's again, it's not doing anything to take our sport seriously as a professional sport. You're not going to see NASCAR drivers, tether their cars together and come across the finish line together, or somebody else just in mixed martial artists, or mixed martial arts in the UFC, they're going to say, no, we don't need the judges, it's a draw. Like, I mean, what are we doing? It's bad. I don't like it.
Now is probably a great time, and we'll stick them on the screen. Some classic hand holding through the years, and I've been against it every time I've seen it. Some classic ones that Killian and Jason Schlarb. Obviously, the most recent one I can remember is Dimitri last year with Hannes Namberger. And
Paul Capel, I think, has done it like 3 or 4 times. It's so bad.
I kind of get where they're coming from. They've explained it and things, but I mean, I just can't imagine doing it myself. But then I don't know. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but
it's like, I get it. I get it. Like, you spend so many hours running with that person, and you have highs and lows, and one person's high and they're dragging the other person along and they're low. But that's part of racing. That's part of racing. At the very end, you have to be able to look each other in the eye and just say, mate, I want this more than you. Like, and go for it. Like, I actually had this right firsthand. Me and another guy, we were in a 200-kilometer race. We were coming in for second and third. We weren't going to get the win. The winner was like 20 minutes ahead of us. But we were neck and neck. And we had ran for 170-something K, side by side. Never left each other's side. And we were running up this hill. And I just, nice and silent, I just looked at him and I was trying, Keith, I want second. And he just said, I want second too. And that's what I want to hear. But you're going to have to work for it. And that was it. That's all we had to say. Bit of respect. But we were both going for it. We both knew what was happening. It's a fucking race.
I love that. Bravo. Yeah. And that 200k is the Kerryway Ultra in Ireland. Ireland's longest ultra race. Great race. All right, let's crack on. And guess who I have him first, guys? Dimitri. Quadzilla himself, no longer repping the Russian flag, out with the Russian flag, in with the Andorran passport from Dimitri. So we may even see him at UTMB next year because, hey, nobody from Andorra is banned from competing. So I love that because, some of these rules haven't been right for athletes and things. So great to see that he's found some potential way around that. But I think he's the clear favourite. If Tom Evans was in the race, it would be Tom and Dimitri. Teammates at Terex, they would run together until somebody was better than the other guy, and whoever that is would go on to win, possibly Tom. But Dimitri is top class, second place at TDS, first place recently at Cappadocia, just a string of great results, best quads in the game, some of the best training content in his what's it called, trail running school on YouTube. I've spoke to him a few times on Instagram, and I'm like, if only your content was in English, it would be fire. But auto translate into English from Russian in YouTube is not very good. But yeah, I'm picking Dmitry Mechev for first place, and no hand holding at the finish. So he's going to bring it home, I think, hands down. Brian, what about you? Who you got?
Yeah, we're going to let the stars and stripes fly because we're going to go Anthony Costales P1. And if you don't have him even in your top three, shame on you. You want to talk about, a pie, face full of shit pie. If you don't have him in the top three, that's what I feel about you. I mean, the guy is a crusher. I know what you're going to say. He's not proven on technical terrain. He's a West Coast buff trail. Yada yada yada, right? But the guy's a gamer. Guy's got the mentality to grind out. If we say Tom was the clear-cut favorite to just come in here and waltz off with the W, we saw what he did to him at Black Canyon. I was at that race. I saw Anthony come in. He was not looking worse for the wear. So I know Tom was using that as a training race to peak at Western States. So we weren't getting necessarily 100% of Tom, but I don't think. Again, Anthony crossed the finish line on fumes either, and he still went to Western States and showed up with a solid third place finish. And yeah, I mean, he's got to be feeling good. I just hope that the Chico State singlet isn't his long hair. I hope like Samson, he can still go out and be just as strong in the Nike singlet as he was, because I love that Chico State. It was a very like Prefontaine, like the middle finger to the man, like I'm going to come out here and keep crushing with my college singlet. So. Sad to see that era go away, but I think Cape Town's going to be a place for him to plant the Nike flag and walk away with the W.
Go for it, Troy. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so let's go red, white, and blue. Anthony Costales, I think this is his. I'm going to say honestly one more time because I said it 5 times, but Dimitri's won this race. He's got the history here, but I really do with Tom out. I think this is Anthony's race to lose. I think he is hungry. I think that there are plenty of technical trails in the Wasatch Range that you can get out on to prepare for what Cape Town has to offer. And I think that, Western States was a big FU to the man, and I loved it. And I think, he shared a lot of miles. No, he didn't share a lot of miles. He was hunting. Him and Tyler shared some miles, and I think that's probably what landed him in a Nike contract. Is just Tyler's like, if you guys don't go sign this guy, you're crazy. And he's just going to show up and do what Anthony does, which is execute, and that's kind of what he's shown he can do on the day, on anything he shows up to. He does it. He shows up and he makes things look easy. And I'm excited to see him show up here in South Africa. I hope he has a good trip. I hope he can get to the line feeling 100%. Because like I said, it's a bold statement, but I really do feel like this is his race to lose at this point. So.
One thing I love that with him being signed is he might be the most unsocial media friendly pro signing in the last couple of years. Has a guy ever even done a post on Instagram? I know, like the last time I looked at his account, it was like, I don't know, hundreds, maybe 1,000 followers or something like that. They're like sympathy clicks or something. But yeah, I love that about him. And Troy, there's absolutely no way that the Wasatch has practically basic scrambling and ladder sections like the trails around Cape Town. So I'm not sure.
It's a world-class climbing destination. Like, you can find anything you want in the Wasatch. I get it. There's definitely buffed out trails, but if Anthony wants to go find something to go boulder for an hour, for 5 hours, he can go do that in the Wasatch.
But does he? But does he? Does he? Like, you know.
Take it away, Ricki.
I'm not going to lie. I'm super excited about Anthony. I'm super excited about watching him beat Tom Evans in Canyons this year. That race was super exciting. Like on anything I've watched. What am I saying wrong? And not in
Black Canyon.
Black Canyon. Yeah. See, I say it like that, yeah. But you know the race I'm talking about, right? Like he's a super exciting runner. And he's badass and no sponsor. And it's just super cool. And he's not doing Instagram. I just don't think that, again, it's like I'm a betting man, right? I want to win money. So if I'm going into the betting shop, it's got to be proven. And I don't think he's just ready for it yet. I think he'll go out a little bit too hard. And he'll blow the doors off himself. And he won't be able to hang on. So for me, I'm going with Dimitri. Because I think Dimitri's just a beast. I think his Strava, if you're looking at him on Strava, I don't know how Strava keeps up with the amount of running that he does. It's going to blow up soon. He's mental. The training he does. And he's a Terex runner as well, which means he's training with the best. He's training with the best day in, day out, and he's crushing it with them. So I think Quadzilla, I'm with Aaron on this one. I think Dimitri all the way. I think it's his race to lose. I think there'll be no holding hands because he'll be that far ahead of everybody else.
All right, yeah, good conclusion, Ricki. And what do we think? Do we think any course records are in at risk? We have Courtney Dauwalter's 11:20 from 2021, and that same year Walmsley ran a 9:47. And just let me give you context on that, because Dimitri's was a 10:45, a full hour slower than Walmsley's course record. So for me, I think the men's record's probably safe for several years to come. I don't know if the World Trail Minors is going to attract anyone to break that course record either. But Ruth Croft has some potential for taking down Courtney's record, because Courtney came off a UTMB win that year. Not that it matters. You know, she probably could have broke a course record a month after UTMB, but if Marianne pushes Ruth and brings my picks home to the bookies just how I'd like them, then maybe that course record has potential. Brian, what do you think? Any course records at risk here?
That's a lock. I say no. You can take that to the bookie now. I think you're going to get a horrible betting line, though. You're going to have to lay probably $1,000 US to get $10,000 US to get 1,000 back. I mean, it's going to be 1,000 to 1 on that one. That's what you guys are forgetting about gambling. There's always the spread, right? Like, you don't just get to walk in and put $100 on the clear-cut favorite and win 100 back. You're going to win $1. So let's keep that in mind, guys.
Do you know what the Grand National is? Do you?
Oh,
Grand Nationals where idiots just go to the bookies and they put €100 on a 100 to 1 horse, because that's what you do at the Grand National, because nobody has a clue what they're betting on.
Sounds like my kind of place. They serve beer there.
But for me, I don't think on the men's side, I don't see a record being broken. Like I want Dimitri to win, but there's no way he's going to beat Jim's time. No way. It's just it's way too fast. Like his quads are too heavy to break that time. And on the women's side, though, you make a good point, Aaron, because like Ruth Croft, if she is pushed, she's quick. Like she's super quick. And dare I say it, I think she's quicker. She is quicker. I think like a naturally quicker runner than Courtney. I think Courtney's tougher, but I think over that distance, Ruth's probably that little bit quicker. So that record could definitely go.
All right, guys, that was fun. Let's find out who's top of the Trail Talk charts after the weekend, and we'll circle back on that and touch on it at the start of the next show. But yeah, should be a fun one. I put up a poll on the broadcast channel to see if people are interested in following the live stream which is excellent. And 2, just going to check up on results. Or 3, not interested at all. The vote's still going. It's looking like the majority of people will just check the result after the race. So I'm not sure what the time difference is to South Africa and States. But anyway, we'll stick up the broadcast poll results here, and we will go and see you in the next episode. So thanks for tuning in. Peace. First off, thank you for making it to the end of the show. We truly appreciate it. And the only thing we would love more is if you let us know in the comments what you think of the show, what you think of our picks, what do you think of Ultra Trail Cape Town. Anyway, guys, hit that subscribe, smash the like, share it with a friend, do all of that stuff that helps us reach a broader audience. We love doing this. We like you commenting and interacting with us. Don't forget to check out the Instagram broadcast channel where you can vote on the topics that we discuss each and every week. We love that. It's so cool. It's really interactive. But anyway, guys, that's enough for this one. Peace.